headlines, world news, red carpets and views, politics in the streets, not just suits on the news. From the culture to the chaos, we bring it. Lay off the record, we tell it like it is. No fluff, no fear, just facts and real biz. Voices of the people, stories that connect. From gossip to the government, you know what's next.
Hey, 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 what's going on, everyone? It is Off the Record with your boy Minion With A Pinion and my lovely co-host, I Said What I Said, and Foxy 2, Roxy 3. How you guys doing today? How you ladies doing today?
Hey, Minion. I'm doing great. I hope everybody else is doing great. TGIF, everybody.
Whoop
And
whoop.
how are you and Foxy Roxy doing today?
Oh, it is a beautiful day out here. It's been raining all day, thundering and lightning. I don't know if the lights are going to go off during this stream, so how can I complain? Foxy.
I'm doing
Fantastic.
great.
Day. It's a wonderful day. It's raining and thundering and lightning here, but well, otherwise, it's got just clean up the air.
That's right. And how is everybody doing? We just want to say hey to everybody in the chat. And as you come in, please don't hesitate to, of course, hit that like button and speak. Say hi to us in the chat. We have a really interesting show for you guys today. Hopefully, it's going to be a little fun, but it should be very educational as well. Um, what are we going to be talking about today, ladies? We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, aren't we?
Yes,
Yes, we are.
we have an array of topics to talk about today, Minion, and I'm excited to go over everything that we're going to talk about today. It's not going to be all gloom and boom. I mean, it's not going to be the whole show. It's not going to be doom and gloom, even though it is. But we've kind of found a way to make it interesting and fun. So that's really our goal. You know, to when we have to bring this depressing news to you, our goal is to try to make it as interesting as possible. And we've even able to add in a little fun to it. So hopefully you guys enjoy tonight's show.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I think you guys will enjoy the show. Today, guys, I'm pretty sure everyone knows that right now, one of the big topics is going to be Harvey, Illinois. So today we're going to be talking about a lot of Harvey at the beginning of the show, and then we're going to move into some political stuff dealing with Trump and or shall I say Agent Orange, as I said what I said likes to call him. We're gonna be talking about that, and then we're gonna be talking about I don't know if you guys saw that interview with DL Hughley on TMZ, but it was crazy. So we're gonna talk about that today. So without further ado, let's get into the first topic. Before we actually jump in, guys, we haven't really given Dalton the acknowledgement and the recognition that they deserve since
On a
they.
vibrant weekend in June, the village of Dalton came.
Oh, look, I forgot the video's playing, but we have not given Dalton the recognition that they deserve. So, to start us off, we wanted to kind of look at this video that Edward Steve or Ed Steve, one of the trustees in Dalton, just reelected. He just put this on Dalton Politics, and they're just showing everyone how they're revitalizing the neighborhood. So let's take a look at this video.
Well,
And
Well,
okay,
Minion, before we get started, let me just say this. Shout out to Jason House for winning because we never actually congratulated him. And shout out to all the trustees that won the election. And I think Trustee Steve is a new one, isn't he? Isn't he a
he's a
new
re-elect.
a re-elect? Okay, so just shout out to everybody that won their races. And
Absolutely.
I think we should give him a hand clap, Minion. Yeah. Even though it's a
Yeah.
little late, but hey, it is what it is. Better late than never.
Exactly.
They are doing their thing out there in Dalton. And so we just want to take some time to just give them a moment and recognize their accomplishments and what they've been able to achieve while they've been in office. So let's take a look at this video.
Alive with
It is
unity,
about 6
purpose,
minutes, and it's
and
going to tell us
celebration.
what they're doing.
It
Look
was
at that.
more than just an event.
That's
It
nice.
was a full-day journey of civic pride and neighborly love.
Hi, greetings, everyone. This is Trustee Edward Steve here at the cleanup part. Clean up the park. We didn't do the TV the trustees today. We came here, and this is about spending a day in Dalton.
From the very
Look
beginning,
at
the energy
Brown,
was
old Stan
undeniable.
Brown.
Dr.
Brown.
Nikita Cloud
Brown.
opened the day.
And just to give you a little bit of history about where we're standing, we are literally standing on the ground where the Underground Railroad passed through. This
That's
is Dalton,
history.
baby. Dalton, baby.
All right, Nikita.
Now they have a lot of history in Dalton, don't they? They have the
Yeah.
underground, this thing with the Underground Railroad. They have the Pope now. So they've got a lot of stuff to be proud of.
I don't know what I'm doing. Get me off.
Everything's
Look, get me off.
going.
But
So,
yeah, I didn't know that the Underground Railroad was there, Minion. That's something, some new information for me.
On a vibrant weekend in June, the village of Dalton came alive
Me
with
too.
unity,
I
purpose,
said, wow,
and
now that's some history right there.
Yeah.
let me see if I can move it along a little bit since we move back to it. Okay.
Cloud opened the day.
And just to give you a little bit of history about where we're standing, we are literally standing on the ground where the Underground Railroad passed through. This is Dalton, baby. Dalton, baby. So this is what we're doing. It's all about cleaning up and cleaning through and coming together as a family and doing something good for the community.
The crowd honored the many hands and heart that made it possible, especially Commissioner Sandra Wells and partners from NHS Chicago, State Farm, and local leadership.
On behalf of the Village of Dalton residents, we are so pleased that everybody's out here. We sincerely want to thank NHS, State Farm, Commissioner Wells, and everybody for all your efforts.
Volunteers, public works, and neighbors gathered around a historic fountain, restoring it not only as a centerpiece of the village, but as a symbol of Dalton's resurgence.
We didn't go into Old Village Hall, but there's so much history at the Old Village Hall. We found a time capsule over there that was covered up by woods, by trees, that was set in 1977, not due to be open until 2076. Had the old mayor, old trustees on there. There's a little bit of history we uncovered today here in Dalton. But that's what happens when you clean up and do things right.
Well, you weren't supposed to clean up
With
for
every
another
stroke of a
50 years,
paintbrush
it seemed
and
like.
every bag of debris removed, Dalton wasn't just being cleaned up, it was being renewed.
Hi, my name is Louise Copeland. I'm the president of the Dalton Public Library. It's so exciting to see the library, the park district, and the village coming together finally. This is something that we've been trying to do for years, and now we feel free.
It was a wonderful day that happened today in Dalton, and it's just the beginning of things to come in the Dalton United movement. It's no more division amongst the taxing bodies of this town. There's no division amongst the board. We're all united to pull Dalton forward and move Dalton forward.
By midday, the celebration shifted to the Dalton
right.
Public Library for a joyful Juneteenth program. Here, families gathered not only to reflect on history, but to write a new chapter. Mayor Jason House echoed the importance of the
That look
moment.
good,
We have
don't
to make sure that all of our children know
Yeah,
this
baby.
is not just a free day
Yeah,
off of school.
baby.
it?
So we have to. So it's important that we know our history. Juneteenth is very symbolic to our community. So I'm privileged to be here today and just open up this event.
From educational ceremonies to playful healing, the energy spilled into the park where Double Dutch therapy brought generations together.
Now,
And you know what the difference is with this video?
What?
You know who's not through the entire video, all throughout the video?
Let me guess. The super mayor.
Right. You know, it's
A
not.
su they call it, it is, LC caller, a super
Super mayor.
Yeah, super stupid. Uh, Tiffany Hintard,
Leo this,
the the Booger Wolf of
Leo this.
Dalton.
Mm.
Yeah, all the words. But she, if this was her video, if she was the one, the mayor, she would be literally in every scene and every shot. You wouldn't be able to see anything without her. And so I like that Jason House allowed for the community to be highlighted versus him. So
So
yeah,
she
Yeah,
like what Suge Knight say, all in the video, all on the producing.
yeah, right, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So she did it 2.0, huh?
Yeah, definitely
yeah.
Diddy 2.0. I guess before we move into what the show is going to actually be about, but that's really all we wanted to show. Big shout outs again to Dalton. It looks like they are moving in the right direction, and it doesn't take a lot of money to get the neighborhood involved in cleaning up the community. So it looks like that's what they're doing. So big ups to them. So yeah, let's go ahead and get our shout outs out the way before we get into the show. So I said what I said.
Okay, well, thanks, Minion. So welcome everyone to the
Thank you.
show, and we have Common Sense here tonight. Thank you for being here. We have Sherry with a Y here. Thanks for being here tonight. And we have, let me highlight Common Sense because I didn't actually highlight the name. And we just want to make sure on the replay, everybody know who was in the chat on the replay. We have the lovely Leo lady. Thank you for being here, ma'am. We appreciate your appearance tonight. We
What's up,
have
little lady?
um,
Hey,
Carol
Common
Morton.
Sense.
Is that
Hey,
Carol Morton?
Carol Morton.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know why I'm sitting up here trying to read this
yeah.
stuff without my glasses. I don't know. You know, I don't know why people like to make life so hard for themselves, right?
That's funny.
Yeah. Case in point, me.
I
So,
got mine on my avatar and on my real face.
oh, okay. So you must can't see without them.
Yeah, well, I can, but
If I'm gonna read, I have to have my glasses on also. So we all just glasses bound.
all right. And then, um, so yeah, thank you guys for being in here. We have Cross Country Cruise Her.
Yeah, I wasn't quite finished yet, Minion. We
Oh, I
have,
thought you had
yeah.
something happen with your
I
audio or
no,
something.
no, no, no. We have Common Sense asking if I said what I said will blink tonight, and that would be a no. And we have so no Common Sense. I didn't fix my avatar to blink because when I fix my avatar to blink, it moves the body too much for me. So that'll be a no. And let's see. Minion say, hey, friends, thank you for tuning in to the live and feel free to speak to us in the chat. And while you're here, if you're enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And we want you guys to subscribe to all three of our channels. I said what I said, Minion with Opinion and Foxy 2, Roxy 3. But we also want you guys to subscribe to the OTR channel also. So if you guys could do that for us, because eventually we're going to move this show to that one app, to that one channel, which is OTR. But we're going to stream it from our channels until we can, build up the following and get everybody to follow us over there, because that's ultimately our goal. But we don't mind if you're in the chat. We could do it either or. It doesn't make us that much difference. And hey, Cynical One, thank you for being here tonight. And like Minion said, Cross Country Cruiser, thanks for being here tonight. And hey, Shan, thank you for being here tonight. I think this is your first time to our OTR show. I'm not sure, but thanks for being here. And Chandrea 4055, hello to you from Mississippi, Chandrea. Thank you for
Okay,
being
thank
here.
you for
Yeah,
coming to.
All right. Hey,
yeah.
Andrea.
Shout out to Mississippi, baby. Yeah. All right, Jimmy, it's all yours.
All right, thank you guys for speaking in the chat. And if you are just coming in, or as you come in, if you want to speak to us, feel free, and we'll go ahead and try to make some time to go ahead and shout you guys out. So the first thing that we want to talk about today, guys, is going to be the crime rate in Harvey and a few of the things in Harvey that are going on. Um, Based off what the mayor is telling us, we all know that recently there was an 11-year-old girl who unfortunately had an incident that left her shot, and I mean she was pow-powed in the head, uh, and she's recovering in the hospital. All right, but this happened. She was an innocent bystander. Her and her dad were on the way, I think, bringing her to or from school or something to that degree. But this is what happened to her, and so it had us looking at what is the crime rate like, and what is Mayor Clark's response to what's going on. So today we're going to look at his response. They had a press conference, and we're going to look at his response, and we're going to react to it. But then we're going to look at a couple of different things, like some stats from Harvey, the city of Harvey's, what their crime stats are. Okay, so first let's look at this video from Christopher Clark, guys. And just a heads up disclaimer, I did modify the voice a little bit because his voice to me is unbearable, and I didn't want you guys to have to suffer. So his voice is a little bit modified. Can we put up the fair use disclaimer?
Good morning. It drove me here today to stand here together this morning as the city's shaken by the heartbreaking shooting of an 11-year-old Willow James. The child with her whole life ahead of her, found while simply riding home from school. The father, a mayor, and a neighbor, I was devastated when I received that call that a young girl in our city had been caught in a crossfire of senseless gun violence. No child should ever have to recover from a gunshot wound. No child should ever have to even think about something like that, and no parent should ever have to fight to heal from something so preventable. Today, I can announce that an arrest has been made in connection with that horrific act. Thanks to the swift efforts by our Harvey Police Department and the Division of Criminal Investigation, a suspect is now in custody. A weapon believed to be used in the crime has been recovered and justice is in motion. But let me be clear, an arrest is not the end of this story. True justice is more than just a court date, and it's healing for Willow and her family. It's peace of mind to our residents, and it's a safer, stronger Harvey for every child that walks our streets. To Willow James's family, we are praying for you. We are walking beside you in this journey. And to our community, we must be united in ending the violence, not divided by blame or politics. That means refusing to use tragedies like this as talking points, and instead coming forward with information, holding each other accountable, and working hand in hand to make sure that our neighborhoods are safe. We will not be defined by violence, but we will be defined by how we respond. So thank you. And next, I'd like to introduce our Harvey Police Chief, Chief Cameron Biddings.
Okay, so let me just pause it right there because he's about to
Yes,
come
buddy.
in again and speak. But I think that when we listen to him, we hear someone who's just basically, he doesn't sound empathetic. He doesn't sound genuine. I mean, maybe that's my reaction to this. I don't really hear anyone who's genuine. I hear someone who is just trying to say things to, make it seem like he actually cares, but he doesn't really care. What do you guys think?
Well, Minion, all I hear is Barney Fife from Andy Griffin Show.
With the voice, I know. I probably
The
should.
voice. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm over here crying because that's exactly who he sound like. But you're absolutely right. There's no sincerity, no empathy, no sympathy, not even a care in the world, really. Not only with the voice, but the facial expressions, the body language. It's like I'm up here to do another speech, and then I'm jet out of here. That's what it seems like to me.
Right. I definitely agree. It's all for looks and show.
I mean, every time he does one that I have noticed, going back, since he's been in office, he has no empathy or no emotions as far as, you know, the care in the world. But then also he always want to blame the community for everything, and it's not, you the mayor. What are you not doing? So that's my opinion about it. So we can tell by his emotions. We see what he's doing about it.
And we know he's not emotionless because when he's throwing people out of the meetings, oh, we see some emotion then. When he's telling everybody to be quiet, there's some facial expression and emotion on his face. So it's not like he can't do it. I'm just saying, it's not like he's just monotone all the time because that's not true.
And yes, his voice is modified, but I mean, you guys can pretty much get the gist.
Just remarks you alluded to
That part.
having concern about obviously about your residents. Uh, what do you say to residents who are obviously now very concerned about safety? I mean, this is ridiculous that a kid and her dad can't drive from school home without bullets flying. What do you want to convey to area residents about their safety, especially now going into the summer months and traditionally we've seen sometimes spikes in crime and violence during the summer months?
Well, first in the city of Harvey, we have seen a decrease in crime over the years. So we may want to make sure that we articulate that.
A
As
decrease in
far as
crime.
this particular event, we want everyone, of course, to be vigilant. We are a community, and that's the important part that we need to convey here.
Homicides have been an issue in Harvey for a long time, predating your mayorship. Why is it such a stubborn problem in Harvey?
I think that's an issue really of community.
The reason why we're here having this discussion today is because of community efforts through our community, through our police department, through the efforts of the mayor's office, and through this proud family that stands with us. So it's so many people working together is what makes this happen. What we want to try to do, and we're hoping that people will see, is that the city of Harvey, while we have had challenges, we are getting better. And we are putting things in place to make sure that issues like this never happen again. Now, I just want to say on the side note that I stand with the
Lies.
family as far as creating a law, and I'll do whatever it is that I possibly can to help deal with these types of issues, especially when and
What kind of
if,
law can you
hopefully
create?
never again, some type of violence will take place
Just have
in these
police
type
on
of
the street
environments. You know what?
and not.
Was he in the car? Oh, I'm sure was the suspect in the car by himself?
I believe he was in the vehicle by himself, correct?
Yes, he was.
He was in the vehicle by himself. Real quick, there's always this narrative that's being pushed out here that crime is up in the city of Harvey. And I'm here today to state that crime is down in the city of Harvey. Statistically, we see that crime has decreased in our city. And today should be a day to celebrate that we've captured this individual, that we want to celebrate Willow and her recovery, and we want to highlight her recovery, and also that my team is doing everything that they can to make sure that our city is safe. This was an isolated incident, and my team is using all available resources and technology that the mayor's office has provided to our agency to make sure that we're doing everything to make sure that this type of incident does not occur again.
All
I'm on
right,
it.
so real quick,
It
let's
dropped me
go
here.
ahead and mute this. And I want you guys to just see these numbers really quickly. As you guys can see, it says, oh, let me pause it. Let me pause. All right, so right here, you guys see it says that the crime rate is 98.6% higher than any other city in the US. And this is from 2023. And it also said that this city has been increasingly becoming more and more violent over his term. I also included the links for all of this information in the description, just in case you guys wanted to take a look and read it for yourself. As you guys can see, it says that the crime in Harvey is going to cost the average person, the average resident, $1,021, and the average family $3,033 per household. All right. So, I mean, numbers are what are important. You know, we may try to throw some humor in it, but the fact of the matter is that these people are lying to you guys' face. The crime rate is high, and it is nothing that needs to be uh bragged about, or y'all need any. What did he say? People should be talking about the good things that are happening. Like, this is not a good thing that's happening in Harvey, especially when you have 9 police officers showing up for one guy in a parking lot unarmed.
So far, I haven't seen any good things to celebrate, so I'm gonna need him to maybe show us some type of visual or give us some proof that there is some good things and some happy people in Harvey. But so far, I haven't seen that yet. What I've seen is a bunch of chaos, a bunch of lying, a bunch of alleged fraud and disrespect to the people. That's what I've seen so far.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, because that will take us. That's a good segue into the next clip that we wanted to look at today. I'm
Okay,
not sure if you guys heard I said what I said, or Foxy, or even the people in the chat. I see there's a lot of comments in the chat.
and some new
Um,
people came in too, so we want to.
And before we get into this video, we are going to go ahead and shout you guys out. But there was as a matter of fact, before we get into the video, even talking about the video, let's go ahead. You want to go ahead and give them a shout out?
Sure, sure, Million. Let me move it out the way a little bit because I have too many screens up. So it looked like Nola Brown came into the chat. Thanks for being here tonight, Nola.
Hey, Nola.
I don't know why it's not highlighting, but okay.
I'll highlight them for you.
Oh, okay, it's highlighting it. It's coming up. My computer's just not showing me that it is. Hey, to you, Nesto Shuckle Shuffle Walker Shane. Thanks for being here tonight. And we have, I think, Bonds came into the chat. Thanks for being here tonight, Bonds, one of my moderators. Appreciate your
Mhm.
presence. And then somebody else came in.
Dave Bryson.
Dave, yeah. I was looking for his name. I don't see it on here. Something going on with my computer screen. I'm gonna refresh it because I
I
don't even
put them
see.
up.
Okay, that's fine, but I still want to refresh it though. Um,
Oh, okay, we got Justin Thompson back in the building. All right. Well, we
Hi,
appreciate you
Justin
joining
Pooh.
us, Justin. All right.
All right. Hi, Justin Pooh.
We got Solomon Brown in the building. Minion with a Pinion. I really can't determine his empathy or lack thereof due to the voiceover. Well, I mean, I can always, if y'all want to listen to his regular voice, I'm more than willing to go ahead and put his regular voice on if y'all want to hear it in his regular voice. Y'all let me know. But his voice is so annoying to me. I just can't stand it. But yeah, so Solomon, I mean, if y'all want, let me know, chat, if y'all want to hear the regular voice. But the next thing that we're going to talk about is going to be one of the residents who actually came out speaking against the mayor directly. All right. I'm not sure if you guys heard of this resident. Her name is Melissa. And she recently, in fact, I believe it was last night, she went on a live with Ryan, who is also someone who lives directly in Harvey. He's an advocate for the people, the residents in Harvey, and he's over the Harvey Historical District. Um, he has a lot of information, and he's definitely trying to help bring awareness to the situation that's going on in Harvey. So this resident had a lot to say about. She made some very strong allegations about what has happened to her, and so I want us to listen to it, and we're going to dissect it. I mean, again, these are all allegations, so unfortunately, we don't know if these things are true, but um, it's a very interesting story. So we're going to see what you guys think.
Hey, what's up? You coming out, grandbaby? Come on. Yeah, so I want to make something clear because I'm not putting my story out there for attention or for nobody to act on my
We
behalf.
can't hear
Everything
anything,
I
Minion.
do
I
on.
don't know what happened.
Are y'all not able to hear the video?
I can't hear it. It started out hearing it, and then something happened where we couldn't hear it.
Hmm. I ain't doing anything. It says the volume
Can
is
y'all
up.
put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear the video, and put a 2 in the chat if you can't hear it?
I can't hear it also,
Uh,
and it froze on my channel.
I'm not no violent,
Common sense
evil
say just a little
person.
bit.
I don't care what the mirrors on his page
Turn it
saying
back
about
on
me.
me. Do you have it back
For
on?
those that know me, they
Uh
know
huh.
I
Oh,
am nowhere
okay. I
near
can't hear it.
crazy. I'm standing here
I can't
talking to
either.
you, ain't I? I could tell you
They
what
can,
happened
but
to
I
me,
can't.
can't I?
I can't. We
We
can
can't.
So
now.
what gives his word over what I say more power, more authority? Why? Because I'm not the mayor. I'm just a regular citizen. I have a regular life just like everybody else do. Yes, I was going off. It's over 200 people without water. You'd be a fool not to raise your voice in protest. Protesting is a fundamental right of the United States. We wouldn't even be having mayors or anything else
Okay, that's
without
great right there.
election
Wherever you had it.
or the power of dissent. So you can't paint me crazy for being passionate about my water, my community not having any water, me not having any water, and they can explain to us why our water is a basic human right. I think something is wrong with you if you're not screaming and yelling at the top of your lungs, especially when you're parading.
I agree with her on that. If you, especially if, yeah, if my water not running, we got some big problems. Um,
Yes, yes,
it's
yes.
my bill paid. I mean, there shouldn't be any reason why the water shouldn't be running. To be honest, I could see maybe if there's an issue with the hot water or the cold water or something like, but just to not have any running water is just that's a little bit absurd.
Exactly.
Doing photo ops about a little baby that got shot
Turn
over
it back
here,
on.
and you say that you care
Hmm.
about the kids of Harvey, but you don't do nothing about the
Okay,
kids of
I
Harvey.
see
For
it
You
on
whatever
don't
my.
do
reason,
nothing
mine's
for
is
the kids of
freezing and I
Harvey.
can't
You
hear
paint them
nothing.
like you just
So
don't even like them. You don't even like the kids of
Me
Harvey.
either.
It's how you treat them. But anytime a photo op come, you want to come on and look all smug and act like you doing something for the people when you really not. Nobody harmed you coming to your home, asking you what's going on with the water. Nobody harmed you coming to your
I
home,
don't know what's going on, man,
asking
but still
you
can't hear it.
why your officers is running around here acting like they are above the law and the Constitution that they are sworn to protect. And there are people calling me, asking me not to be emotional. And I appreciate you.
But why would they
And don't
tell
take this
her?
as a diss to you or diss.
I'm glad that she still appreciates them. So can y'all not hear it? Because it looks like in the chat they are able to hear it. I see Sean said that they can. I can
They can hear
hear
it.
it.
Yeah, they can hear it.
Dave says I can hear.
But they can hear it, but we can't hear it.
I wonder why that is.
It's saying your internet is
I
kind of
don't
low
know.
too.
Yeah, say the same thing about your.
And it's barely playing for me. Like it's starting and it's stopping. So, it's not like the other
Oh
video
Lord,
was.
look at this man right here, Jedediah that came in. Oh Lord, what did he say? I had just thought of this guy and looked down to see your live. What's this about tonight? We're talking about this resident, actually, some resident who went on your bestie's live yesterday. Uh, and she was talking about some things that she felt happened to her. She felt like she was kidnapped by the mayor. I didn't want to give it before she actually said it, but so yeah, this is a crazy story. And so I definitely want to get more information about it, but I want us to listen to her version of what happened first, and then we'll start dissecting it from there. So
Also, remember, before she spoke, she had protested in front of his house, back and forth in front of his house. So that's
because
the
of the
reason why
water,
she's talking about. Yeah, and so this is why she talk. That's why she's talking about it now, because this is after the effect of her protesting in front of his house. So you may
okay.
proceed.
You. But I have people that's calling me asking me not to be so emotional, just stick to the facts. These are the facts. And emotions is for real. I'm not
Mr.
gonna
Crawley.
sugarcoat nothing about how I feel. Y'all didn't get kidnapped from y'all home and taken somewhere in a dark basement of a jail cell with a corroded jail. It didn't even have water, run of water in there. And I know he did that intentionally. And he terrorized me within the city of Harvey. And I really got people calling me saying how somebody could paint me unstable. He's the unstable person. You don't see nothing wrong with that? He had somebody take me out my house. How am I crazy? I'll be crazy not to be upset. So, anybody got a problem with the way I talk? Oh well. Oh well. If I don't play like a victim to you, oh fucking well.
You better get
Oh well.
outside, okay?
He
Yeah,
the
I
crazy
can't hear
one,
Minion
not
either.
me. I got all my marbles together, all my pistons
Oh yeah,
firing.
I'm on mute. Sorry,
He just
guys.
thought that they wasn't.
Okay.
He thought I was just some old crackhead
And what were
somewhere
you
that
saying?
nobody cared about.
I was saying she seems pretty sane to me. I don't think that outside of, maybe the fact that she's in a muumuu and has a bonnet on her head, I don't see what would be crazy about her based off of what's coming out her mouth. I would be probably upset. I not probably, I would definitely be upset if some police came to my office, my house, and arrested me or took me in for any reason. But I was saying we could let her finish
Right.
so we can
Yeah, let her finish.
yeah.
It just make me wonder how many other people out here he done did that to. I'm not gonna be silent or be quiet. Straight up, to be honest with y'all, I thought they was finna do me up in there. Sandra Bland me, y'all wasn't gonna never hear from me again. But what's crazy is y'all sitting around and y'all see this man doing this. He done drug our city councilwoman out of a meeting. Her and her elderly mama by police force. Nobody is coming down here to see about the women and the children. Something's wrong with that. Y'all know doggone well I'm not out here causing no trouble. I barely even come out my house. So again, somebody got a problem with how I'm looking, my missing tooth, how I talk. I don't give a fuck. I got kidnapped out my house.
All right, well that's the video. What do you guys think? What are your reactions to that?
Well, I think she got a valid point. And how sad that she have to stay in her house. What's really going on here? You shouldn't feel like a prisoner in your own house and in your own town and city. That is crazy. And, like she said, her looks don't have anything to do with her complaints. Or and they're not even complaints, they really her truths of how she see the situation. And so, I feel like I believe what she's saying, and she have a lot of valid points. And we've even seen in the meetings how he's reacted to the public. So, you know, I'm with her. You know, she should be able to move freely without any type of interrogation or not interrogation, but retaliation. There shouldn't be any retaliation against the public when they go outside or what have you. But you know, we're living in some scary times now, and it seems like anything that anybody that's in office or that has a powerful position, it seems like people, you know, people can just do what they want to do, and there are no consequences. It seems like these days, and that's what I have to say about it.
No, I totally agree. I think that she definitely seems sane to me. I mean, and the points that she's making are very valid. I think that they could corroborate the fact that she was protesting outside of the mayor's house due to not having any water, which is, I mean, I would be protesting outside of the house myself, outside of his house myself, if I didn't have any water. What is? Let's see what Jed has to say, because you know Jed also said that a lot of people um really love what's going on in Harvey. So let's see what he had to say. He said, "Just thought of this guy and looked down to see you live." Okay. All right. No, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Now we are going to be releasing some information today as it relates to the crime rate in Harvey. So that's something that he needs to explain. We need to know why the crime rate is so bad and why has it increasingly gotten worse over the last few years. So maybe you can have that conversation with the mayor, Jedediah. That maybe that's something that he can cover for us. All right, but we'll
I'm
keep
sorry.
looking.
Oh, I thought you was reading that. Are you reading this comment or not?
Oh, let's be
No.
reminded that Jed went to Tiff's house. He was loud using profanity. That is another thing. Very true, Solomon. Very true. So we know that Melissa Mental Crawley. Oh my God. I don't think he said, I did do that. Look, he's like, yeah, you got
I
me
know I
there. You
seen him out
got
there
me
doing it,
there.
so I don't know.
He's like, yeah, you got me there. All right.
Well,
Well, thank you for.
she's not doing no different. She's not doing any different than what Jedediah did in Flint, where he took a coffin in front of the mayor there. So I mean, she had a constitutional right. She was protesting in front of his house and what she was upset about. So she has that right. And for him to send them there to say that she had a mental problem because she protested in front of his house was very wrong. Very, very wrong.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. And I mean, Jedediah can also relate to this lady with the missing tooth because he just got his teeth done too. And so can Clark. Clark had
Right,
his
yeah.
whole grill, the whole top
Yeah.
of his grill was
He
gone.
did a whole city council meeting without his top grill. So okay.
So we know that no one should be judging her because of her missing tooth.
Right.
Um,
And that don't have nothing to do with what's going on with her though, you know. So
No,
right.
it
I'm
But
don't.
just
It doesn't. She was from what I heard and what I saw from her protest. She was protesting for a justified reason, and everybody's trying to say that she was crazy because she just protest for a justified reason. And he did show a video later on the room camera and was showing about she going back and forth where she protesting herself. Who she's harming. She's not on his property. She was on this. She will protest it, letting her feelings be known. That's her constitutional right. So if Jed can go up down in front of the mayor in front with a coffin, Mayor Jed can go up and down in front of Tiffany. I mean, not up and down, but he was in front of Tiffany's mother in them house, and he was letting him have it. So and then when she was out there, then the police was sitting there. They didn't bother her at the time because she
right.
was a constitutional right. So now you wait till she get home and then have to make the lady come out the house and arrest her, whatever, and try to say she crazy. That's wrong. You're doing too much, Clark. That was wrong, and you were wrong. Either you or your chief of police did this lady wrong, and that was absolutely wrong. You should have, if she had done a crime, you should have got her in right there when you saw the crime being
don't
being
go back to
conducted.
her house, right? He do that a lot, don't he? send officers to people's houses.
Hmm.
He need a. I don't like that little tactic that he uses.
Exactly, the freedom of speech should be able to be expressed by anybody, no matter what side of the fence they're on. That's a constitutional right that we have, and just because we might not like what the people are saying or doing, it still doesn't make it unconstitutional, and doesn't make it unlawful. But Solomon said she was protesting over she was not protesting over just water. She believed Clark sent someone to her house the previous night. You should include her screenshot showing alleged threats. Well, we don't have those screenshots, Solomon. It takes a minute to get these shows together, and maybe we can include that in the next show that we do. But for right now, we only have these clips that we got together for the show. But we do appreciate the additional information, and then we definitely we look into it.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Solomon. And I mean, you're more than welcome to email any one of us. My email is minionwithopinion@gmail.com. And you guys can tell them what your emails are if you want to, but you're more than welcome to email us with any information that you may have as well.
Okay, and my email address is I said what I said 91 at gmail.com. So you guys can email us about any information, in additional information that you have, concerning this saga that's going on in Harvey and any other place that if you want us to discuss a topic, email us and let us know, and we'll try to get that done for you. But we do have to know ahead of time so we can know what the show is going to be about.
Also, you can email me at srwingram61 Again, S, like it's Sam, RW Ingram, INGRAM 61 gmail.com. Because some people put the H in there. Why? I don't know. But they always put the HR in there. Ingram. Never figured it out, but that's why I spelled it.
All right. And the next thing that I want us to look at, we're going to look at two videos that are coming directly from the City of Harvey's Facebook page. The reason why I want to bring these up is because one of these videos have been the topic of conversation in a few different discussions when you start talking about Harvey. The next one is just, to me, a very poor, subpar effort for at the administration's attempting to try to blame the businesses and residents in the city for not having anything. So we're going to look at that video first, and then we're going to look at the more concerning video. Again, y'all, please, viewer discretion is advised. All right, so let me play the first clip.
Don't pay their commercial taxes, it hurts all of us. It's why you pay more for your property taxes, and it's why we don't have nice things. Those taxes fund the things we all rely on, like clean streets, public safety, and city services that keep our community running. When those tax dollars don't come in, the city has to do more with less, and that means longer response times, fewer improvements and delayed repairs. Paying your fair share helps create a safer, stronger, more vibrant Harvey for everyone. We're in this together. Let's keep Harvey moving forward.
See, this is the type of stuff I'm talking about. First off, why couldn't you get a professional voiceover? You could have went and got an AI voice to do this, but you decided to go with this hood. I mean, maybe am I being too judgmental about a voice?
Nope.
Okay. I feel like you could have did way better than that. What you was about to say, Foxy?
No. That's all I can say. No.
They know they could have picked somebody to represent Harvey a little bit better than that and put it on the official Facebook. But hey, 11 labs is $0. You can do it. You get 10,000 characters for free or something like that. They could have did a voiceover. But also the fact that they're blaming the people inside of the city for why they can't have anything. They could have did exactly what Dalton just showed us that they were doing. They could have had the neighborhood come together and they could have been painting the little line. You know what I'm saying? They could buy, I don't know what all Harvey needs, but I know that they can do more if they try to bring the community together versus just pointing the finger at them and telling them what they're not doing and what they need and should be doing. Um, that's my personal opinion on that. It wasn't a really big thing, a really big deal, but he talking about my cartoon is free. That's another thing. He talking about my cartoon look cheap. Your voiceover on me was low budget. Well, hey, everything I do is for free. So that just goes to show you just proving my point. He could do a lot better with a lot less. So I hope he's not spending money on these productions. Um, and also I see that you liked my cheap little low budget techniques because I see you kind of using them in your intro. I peeped that too, but you know, and I appreciate it. All right, but the next clip is more important, right? So the next clip is going to be. All right, so y'all see this man digging into her back, then using both his hands to pull her.
Don't touch my stuff. You should know that from the lawsuit. Don't touch my stuff. I don't care. Let's go. Bitch. Call the attorney.
See how?
I don't care. Let's go. Bitch. Call the attorney. Go. Don't ever put your fucking hands on me. Let's go. Go. Guys, don't ever put your fucking hands on me.
All right, now tell me, guys, how many people look at this and think that this is inappropriate? But let's keep watching.
Well, first of all,
go ahead.
with me being in law enforcement for 35 years, dealing with law enforcement for 35 years, retired from law enforcement, local and federal. First of all, those officers supposed to give her time to move. After a certain length of time, if she does not move, then you put your hand on her, and you don't put your hands on her the way he did. You push, kind of give her a little shove, like, come on, let's go, tap on the shoulder, say, let's go. Then and if she pulls back, then you have the action to do that. But to just come up and start digging your hand in her back to make her move anyway. And second of all, she did not do a crime. The officers did not observe her doing a crime. That's the problem everybody keep forgetting. The officers have to make that call, not the mayor. The mayor told him to escort her out. He does not have the ruling of telling the officers what to do unless it has something pertaining to him. So this is the law, and I wish people would look it up. It will tell you that is the law. He can't tell the officers what to do unless it's pertaining to the safety, which she's not doing anything to harm anybody. She's just speaking her First Amendment right. Second of all, there was nothing that pertaining to him as of harm or as a fear of danger. So all of this is just, enough is enough. You already got people, you got the people in Flint. You got a lady that's now still in the hospital with a concussion, a dislocated shoulder, and a bruised wrist. You got another gentleman in Harvey that has a fractured wrist and a fractured arm. When are these people going to stop using the police department to weaponize the residents in these meetings? It needs to stop. And I don't care how anybody try to justify it, it's incorrect. Y'all need to stop doing that because, two people already got injured because of the same move he's doing with the residents here. Now, Jedediah might have came there and he's calmed down for a moment, but we all know from previous videos, he calmed down for a moment and the next minute he right back. So there's no guarantee this is not going to fare back up just because Jedediah came in and he's, was able to talk to him to make him change his mind for that moment. I feel is when Jedediah is no longer in the city and he's no longer involved, they're going to go right back to doing what they was doing before. This is my opinion. This is my feeling about it. And they need to get hands off this lady. 4 times is enough. Is enough. And I'm sorry. I will fight to the end. I go whatever means necessary to make sure his ass gets some handcuffs on him, or let the police pull him or push him around. Okay, I digress.
Well, all I have to say is that's how bullies operate, Box. So I'm just saying. You shouldn't expect any different. We seen with Tiffany how she was trying to bully the people, and it's the same scenario. It's not the same problems, but but it's similar problems, and but it's the same behavior. Bully the people, try to gaslight them, and and then you come out in public and act like everything is so honky dory and everything is okay, like you're dotting I's and crossing T's, but in actuality, in the background you're doing everything under the sun that's allegedly not legal. So I just want to throw that out there.
And then also, I mean, this isn't necessarily saying that the police officer doesn't have a right to pursue charges if he feels like he was assaulted. But if he feels like he was assaulted, this probably contributes to the reason why there's such a high crime rate in Harvey. Because if this woman because in my personal opinion, you should have gotten a woman to escort her out anyway. If there were women police officers available, that's who should have escorted her out. But if this man feels like this woman assaulted him so bad, you know what I'm saying, that he has to pursue charges, then what are you doing when there's actual criminals with weapons? I mean, how would you even approach that? Because I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. Um,
Right.
that's just my personal opinion. But
Well,
let's
what it is I'm seeing a lot of, from what I've been observing, I've seen a lot of boardrooms that have been using the police department, and even one, I think it's the board president of the police union in Flint Police Union, and he's saying he's tired of the board and the mayor there using them as pawns to go after people they tired of in the middle. And that's the same here. These police departments being used. They try to do it. They're doing it in Flint. They're doing it here in Harvey. When is enough? When are they going to stop using the police department to weaponize and silence the people? She asked him, and because it's not going to happen, she still has the right to voice her opinion. They're in Congress. Congress is over make way more money than any of them sitting up in that room. Way more than that. And they talk out of turn and talk all the time, and they know police coming and escort them out. So why are you using it against people? That's my issue. Congress make way more money, make more decisions over the United States, and these people are just local, local residents, local politicians. And y'all do way more than Congress doing it over the whole United States in different departments of the United States. So come on, y'all, get a grip and start putting your hands on people, escorting people out, arresting them on petty stuff. And when there's more crimes in the city that need to be handled, you got more police officers inside meetings than you do out damn street. Okay, I digress again. Sorry.
Oh, and Sucker Freeze says it's not about how good or bad the assault was, it was assault. And I think that that is a very tone deaf comment, because it definitely matters about the type of assault, because that also determines the level of force that the police officer can use. So the type of assault definitely is important. And furthermore, it's about the fact that yes, he can pursue charges, whether or not the judge or jury looks at it and says, yeah, he is right and she was wrong, is one other thing, because that's going to be determined by the jury. When if the jury says that she was right, what are you going to say then? The thing of
Exactly.
the thing about it is, this doesn't look good for them. This doesn't look good for them
It
no
don't.
matter how you paint it. It doesn't look good. Whether or not it was lawful or not, because in my eyes, it looks very unlawful. In the court of public opinion, it looks unlawful to the majority. And for anyone to uphold a male officer handling a female like this is a despicable human being.
And I see what you're saying, sucker free. That
on to me.
they put a limit on officer. Yeah. But how much? Okay, so we can't put our hands on them, but they can
But they can
assault
do
us,
whatever
and
you
they're
want.
supposed to be
Right.
okay. And she didn't. And
Exactly.
she didn't really hurt him. She just pushed him back so she could get up.
Because
It's a
he was trying to
difference
push
than
her. He
really
was.
putting a hand, digging his nails in her back. You dig your nails in my back, I'm gonna push you off my hand, off my back too. So I'm sorry, you're gonna be arresting me too. Get your hands off my back.
Period.
Come on,
Due
y'all.
to
Let's
authority.
assault is assault.
And they just want to show the force and show their authority like most police officers do. And so a lot of times they go above and beyond when it comes to policing us. And they just this lady looked like she's an older lady. I'm not saying she's elderly, but she's not a spring chicken. And at the end of the day, everybody respect the uniform. Okay, most people respect the uniform. They're going to give the cops the respect that they need, especially if they're being respectful to them. Now, sometimes you will have somebody, that may, act crazy with the cops for no apparent reason, just only because they stopped them or whatever. And we don't know what people's issues are. But at the end of the day, if you want respect, you have to show respect, regardless if you're investigating whatever you're investigating or not, or if whatever the issue is, whatever you're doing, you still can do it with respect. You don't have to exude your power, because most people are more 9 times out of 10 afraid of the police already anyway. So they don't have to do anything extra to be intimidated. All they have to do is show up in their uniform, and that's enough intimidation. It's just like when your mom give you that look. She didn't even have to threaten you. Your mother didn't have to say nothing to you, but she gave you that look, and you already knew what time it was.
And sucker free, I'm glad
That
that you
part.
brought this point up too. You said, but we got to speak in facts. The board did give the instruction for the police officer to remove her. So this is the reason why Foxy said just kind of educated us and said if it's a lawful, because no crime was witnessed, so she didn't disrupt the meeting. She didn't cause any, the only thing that she did was say something that he didn't want to talk about. But she is on the board. She had every right to speak her mind and say what she wanted to say. So at that point, it becomes the determination of the officer as to whether or not they're going to uphold a either they would have to make the judgment as to whether or not that's a lawful or unlawful call, and whether or not to move forward on that. And in my opinion, it was an unlawful call for him to say that was a reason for him to put his hands on her and try to get her removed out of the meeting.
Exactly.
I
So
think it's just a lot that these officers are doing too much. These board meetings, I done seen Flint. Remember Tiffany was having it done in Dalton, trying to have it done in Dalton. I'm my it's just pissing me off that the police department is not here to weaponize the residents in board meetings. I'm like, what are y'all not?
Uh-oh, Foxy.
she went out.
All right. So, of some people you just can't convince, and this is one of those times where you're just gonna have to agree to disagree. Sucker free. I get it that you're trying to passionately let us know that you think otherwise about the situation, or you have a different view, and we can respectfully just disagree with your opinion on it. But I will read this message. It says she aggressively pushed him. I'm not sure how it's been said. He dug his nails in her back. Do we know that? We can't see that from the video. I saw him put his hands on her back, which I don't um, necessarily agree with. Her response was unlawful. Okay, so yeah, again, we're not just I get it, sucker free, and you're free and you're entitled to your opinion. In my humble opinion, I think that he was out of line. He was out of bounds. Um, he was basically using excessive force in that situation. He should have gave her time. He started by uh, reaching for her belongings, which he had no right to do, and then he started to grab her. And then as she tried to push his hand off of her, he then proceeded to grab her with both of his hands and pull her out of the seat. So, I mean, I get what you're saying. You're trying to make it seem like she was so aggressive. Maybe it's because she's a black woman. I don't know your race. And I'm not going to say it's necessarily a race thing, but I don't see where she overreacted in this situation. And you guys, other than Sucker Free, if you have the same view or if you have opposing views, you're more than welcome to comment down below and let us know how you feel. But in my humble opinion, I feel like she was she was the target of some type of bullying. This seems like bullying on Clark's behalf. And then with that being said, I'm going to complete this video out because it's going to lead us straight into the next clip.
Me over, I can't fall. That's not a lady like that. I got a lawyer. Magayan, bitch. That's not a lady like that. That what? Magayan, bitch. That's not.
And see how
I
slow.
can't. Yeah, I can't hear it. It is the computer's frozen.
Don't touch my stuff. You should know that from the law.
What's going on today?
I think that's only on yours. I think everybody else can see it.
I don't care. Let's go. Bitch. Go. Don't ever put your fucking hands on me. Let's go. Go. Don't ever put your fucking hands on me.
And see how this unnecessary this is.
Holding on to me. At this point, you might push me over. I can't fall.
All right, well, I don't know. So that is pretty much the clip, guys. And so that's a good segue into the next clip that we wanted to place, just to give you guys, so y'all see how they're trying to demonize her, talking about her getting arrested, and what some are arguing. I mean, it's definitely up for debate whether or not what she did was right or wrong, but for the most part, I'm sure she feels like it wasn't right. So she's speaking she's speaking very candidly. Not in the public eye, but they recorded it from a police dash cam. Foyed the dash cam, or probably didn't even foyer it, probably just pulled the dash cam footage and put this on their official Facebook page as this to represent the entire city of Harvey.
Like this
Just
look good for them.
like this look good for them.
Mm.
Just stupid and a waste of resources. But let's move to the next thing because that brings us right into, and again, guys, viewer discretion is advised.
You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
All right, so guys, y'all hear that? I'm sure you guys have already heard about this. It's on all the news outlets, but this is a public forum. This was a public news conference, and this is how our president of the United States is talking to the world. And we're trying to condemn Kobe? Like, how does that make sense? What do you guys think about this clip?
Exactly. Yeah. It starts at the top, Minion. And so I just feel like even though, Clark been doing this for a while, Tiffany did it for a while, but a lot of times when the top is unhinged and just say any and everything, it's gonna trickle down to other people to make them feel like that they can do the same thing, like there are no consequences. And what a disgrace.
Exactly.
He just disgraced the United States. Although it's a lot of things to be disgraceful for in the United States, but to hear the commander in chief, the president of the United States, the most powerful man in office in the country, for him to say something like this. Now, what if some kids was listening to this? Because some people do cook dinner and listen to the news.
Right.
And a lot of people allow their kids to listen to a president, but this president is so unhinged. You never know what's going to come out of his mouth. It's almost to the point, I'm pretty sure, they have to watch these clips after the children go to bed, because they can't even let their children watch the president anymore, because he just have taken the office just that low, and he'll curse and say anything. He lies constantly, and when this is his mad speech, he's mad about things not going his way, acting like a petulant child. And so this is what you get when you don't get when he doesn't get his way. This is what we see. So he's showing us in real time how he exude his madness.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and yes, his madness is coming from, first of all, he lied about the bombing, where he did not hit the target. They made him find, no, he had to go back and say he did not hit the major target where all the nuclear bombs were. Then he turned around and he said they had ceased fire, and one even 5 minutes later, they were still shooting rockets at each other. So he's mad because both of them is not listening to him when had told the United States that he caused them to cease fire, and bragged about they could was the only ones that could do that. Now look what happened. All of this has gone even worse now. Now they're bombing our military bases where our family and our people are over there serving this country for a war
Yeah.
that he started.
Yep. So I mean, and then also the fact that we're going to talk about that on another show, but the fact that they're trying to make it seem like they've made all this massive destruction, and we have no way to verify how how much damage was done, or if these people, because they said that because of all the notice that Trump was given through his truth social post, that were they found out that they probably had removed a lot of the stuff, the uranium and all the stuff that they were trying to destroy. They probably moved it days prior. So I mean, how effective was the attack anyway? Even if it was, it's just a lot,
Say
So
it ain't so. I didn't even hear that. Now
yeah,
I
yeah.
had yeah, I figured that much so, but I hadn't actually heard it. But it sounds very believable, because he can't keep nothing, and he got to tell everything, because he's always so busy puffing out his chest, pounding his chest, acting like he's making these, he's having these big wins when he's not winning anything. He's still really tore the country up within 7 months. 6 months since he been in office. He done tore this country upside down, and it didn't take him very long to do it. And I don't feel like he's done. He got some more dismantling to do. So y'all, everybody buckled up and get ready to take this ride.
Well, yes, we are definitely buckling up. Also, I do see some comments in the chat that I don't think that we've been getting to. Sucker Free says, I don't think anything. I'm only speaking as what we know as facts. Well, again, Sucker Free, you're speaking for yourself, sweetheart. I don't know if you're a man or a woman, but you're still speaking for yourself, because facts are different. They're still subjective, apparently. All right. Let's see. Solomon Brown says, she references the lawsuit in that video. Dumb on Clark's part.
That
Definitely
part.
dumb on
Mhm.
Clark's part. What's up, allegedly? Nice to see you in the chat. We got Javar Ellis in the building. Hey,
The
Minion.
bar.
Oh, okay. What's going on? I emailed you on your Gmail. I wanted to talk to you. Okay, no problem. I'll check that and we will connect. Oh yeah, Trump just dropped the F bomb, Javar. So, cynical one was good. Shout out to Camera Action Bureau. Was good. Okay, so
All right.
the
And
next
shout
one.
out and shout out to Gertrude's van life. I kept putting it up, you kept taking it down, so I
Oh
think
my
you were
bad.
looking.
Oh hey Gertrude, my bad.
Hi, Gertrude.
Let
Yeah.
me see if we can give you
Hello,
a.
all of those that they named.
Yeah, Minion kept taking you off, so I had to keep putting you back on, Gertrude. We sorry about that.
Let's give y'all all a wave. All right.
Yay! Hi.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about, guys, is going to be this clip from TMZ that went so crazy. It started off pretty okay. I don't really want to watch the first part, but it's going to give us context. So we're going to watch the first part, and yeah, we're going to just kind of go through this video. It was madness with D.L. Hughley. So
Is it time to start talking about our Nobel Prize for the president? Joining us now to discuss is our good friend D.L. Hughley. D.L., welcome back, man.
For the president.
Peace, lasting.
I think you have to have peace. You have to have peace longer than it takes to send a tweet out. Like it has to be that long, right? It has to be longer than that, right? Ultimately, it's interesting because weren't the Iranians and the United States and Israel at the negotiating table when he fired the missile? Like they were at the table negotiating when he fired.
They were at the table when Israel launched its offensive.
And
Right.
look,
it's you're right. It's shaky, but here's I've been dying to talk to you today. If this peace and the ceasefire lasts and he is able to contain Iran through the bombing and then diplomacy, does he deserve the Nobel Prize?
I think that
I can't believe that came out of Harvey Levin's mouth. I don't think he deserves any prizes on any. He can have the prize for being the worst president in the world. And if the prize is going to jail, then he should definitely win the grand prize.
I say give him one on the most lying president that we've ever had.
Okay, we can find some awards to give him, but the Nobel Peace Prize, I don't know. I
That
mean,
is
'cause
not
that would
one of them.
totally degrade the Nobel Peace Prize. No one would even care about who wins it anymore.
It's all about smoke and mirrors now, baby.
Like if he wins, they be like, oh, they giving them to anybody.
Exactly.
The next
That's not
person that
right.
would have, they were like, who cares? Trump won the Nobel Peace Prize. Who gives a fuck? All right, let's keep watching.
Is the fact that he dismantled the deal that was in place that had contained Iran.
I get it.
He's an arsonist who starts a fire and then puts it out. Let's be clear. The only reason we're in this situation right now because he despises Barack Obama so much. He took a deal off the table, left it alone. They started doing whatever they thought was suspicious activity, or they don't even know if they reconstituted started reconstituting their nuclear program. But the bottom line is, we're where we are right now. He dismantled what was working, took it away, said he was going to replace it, and didn't. So
But wait a minute.
Starting the fire,
He was
putting out the fire.
he was
said,
trying to. He said back then that he just didn't believe that it was verifiable that the Iranians were going to stop developing nuclear weapons.
Okay, then put a deal in place, negotiate.
But again, and I think that I don't know if Jasmine spoke to this on her. I don't know who spoke to this, but if they didn't do anything up until then, I mean, it's been what 6 years since this deal was broken,
With the Iran?
right?
Yeah.
And they still haven't made the bomb. The bomb still hasn't been created, and I mean, they had every opportunity to do it during that time, right?
Right.
So I
And I
mean,
think
Exactly.
if I'm not mistaken, Foxy, is this correct? Isn't he the one who broke it up in his first administration, and then Biden didn't do anything about it, and now here we are?
Yes, you are absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're
we had a
absolutely right.
question. Javar says, question, do y'all think Trump paid the jury just to have Diddy's case drop? Diddy's case is dropped?
No.
Ain't know
All of
nothing
the
about it.
charges are not dropped. Some of the charges are dropped.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was
Remember the
about to
charges that we
say.
talked about the other
Yeah,
day?
right,
Yeah.
right. Okay. I don't know.
No, Javar.
I think they just didn't
No,
have a
no.
case against him.
It's certain charges they didn't have strong enough to for those charges to stay on record. Some of them was dropped off, but they left the major ones that they do have enough concrete evidence to use against them. So they didn't drop all the charges. They just dropped those that are irrelevant at this time.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that much.
And
Mm-hmm.
also, I heard the prosecutor. Now, I don't know if you can believe the prosecutors because they all when people are in front of the cameras, they only tell you what they want you to know. But one of the claims were they didn't want the jury to have to focus on so many charges and too many things. They only wanted to point out the things that has been proven in their mindset that's really been actually proven, and they didn't want the jury to have to go through all of those laws. So that's the reason why. And I've never heard of an excuse like that because normally when they charge you, they don't normally drop the charges at the end of the case. They drop them at the beginning. But I'm not a lawyer, so um, I just kind of I watch Law and Order. I'm not a lawyer, and I watch a lot of other cases online and on television, but I've never seen anybody. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but that's just not the normal process. Is to drop the charges after you presented your case. Normally, they just you know uh, hope and pray that the jury do go in their favor and they keep it on there. So it is questionable about why they dropped them. So I can understand your concern about that.
Mm.
Yeah, but they can do that. They have done that with some cases. They have dropped the lesser charges and kept the major charges
The ones that
on.
they feel like they
They
can
know they
actually,
have a
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, expedite.
have a,
I mean,
yeah, have a solid
you
case
know,
against.
right. They drop the least ones that they have enough evidence to really stick. So they have done that before. There has been people go in and they charge with 7 or 8 charges, but by the time they get to the end, they done dropped at least 3 of them before and leave the 4. It's going to really make that person do some time or keep some time. So
And the
they
charges
have
that
dropped
they
some.
and the charges that they left him with, they said that he can get up to 15 years on each charge of
So
the
it's
other
like
three charges.
45
Right.
years worth of
Yeah,
charges. So
yeah, and that could be another factor. We gotta, if we prove in our
well,
case
at
on
first he was facing up to life.
hmm
So
yeah,
Right.
now it's up to 45 years. So
yeah. So it's
So
not he's not in the clear yet.
all
well,
right,
you
well
got to
let's
look at all the testimonies and everything too. If the testimonies and the evidence that they have presented has caused enough for them to keep the major one and not to keep the other ones, then yeah, they're going to drop them off because they're going to be irrelevant to the case.
mhm.
It puts the doubt in the people's mind.
When you
Let's
have
say like this,
charges that aren't really that can't really stand up in court, it makes it bring make it questions the integrity of all the other charges. I get it.
right? And see what happens is like say for example, I'm charged with the MK charge, right? But I have also, I slapped some police. Assaulted the police officer. They're gonna drop the police officer, be slapping the police officer off my record and keep the other one on because that one's gonna do more charges than the one that I got. And if they haven't got solid proof that I actually did, assault this officer, they're gonna drop that one and just stick with the one that they definitely got solid proof for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
and
no,
see, and
Trump had nothing to do with that.
it's funny when you talk about solid proof because even a jury who has to look at the video that we just looked at with Colby Chapman, I think could also look at that video and still feel in their mind that she did not assault him and that he overexerted his power or his authority. I think that a jury could still see that when because these are a jury of your peers, so they can still, when they see that video, feel compelled to side with Colby Chapman.
Well,
Um,
let me push
Right.
back on that a little bit, though, Minion. It depends on what the judge instruct the jury to look for, and it depends on the portion of
Mhm.
the law because the law, like uh, what was the person name that was sucker free? Like sucker free was saying, it depends on what the actual law is. Because if the judge instruct them and say, well, you can't even lay hands on a officer, right? And so even if you touch an officer, it's basically um assault. And so I'm not so sure if a jury can make that determination or not, just because on what the judge would instruct the jury to look for. Because in a lot of cases, it's like we see clear evidence of a person being guilty or not guilty, but the jury come back with something totally different. Like, um, for an example, the guys in Tennessee, those cops that killed that unalived, what's his name? Remember the guy that was unalived in Tennessee and the four cops got off? Are y'all not familiar with
Oh
that?
yeah,
I, I
I know who
forgot
you're talking
I
about.
forgot the guy's name. Yeah, but we clearly see that those cops beat him. But all four of those cops, well, three of them got off, and one of them had already pleaded guilty and kind of flipped. He flipped on everybody because he thought they were going to get a lot of time because of the video footage.
Mm-hmm.
And the jury came back and found him not guilty.
Well,
Yep, very last one.
what could the judge have told them to make them sway and say that they weren't guilty? Or could it just have been just the way that the jury just perceived it?
I don't know. That's what
Well,
I said.
Because that's kind of saying
you know,
exactly what I'm saying. Like, we don't know based off a lot of things that look cut and dry. I mean, because that's actually my point. The fact that a video that looks cut and dry to one person, like you say, Sucker Free says it clearly shows a violation of the law.
Hmm.
But when they go behind, and it
When
could
they go
be.
behind closed doors, that guy name was Tyree Nichols. I know you heard of him.
Mhm.
yeah.
I mean, I guess what would the judge have told them to make them say, okay, well, we can say he's innocent because the judge said that, you know, is that what you're saying?
Well, basically, what I'm saying is, I think we're basically maybe saying the same thing. I misunderstood what you were saying, that they could find something wrong or not wrong. But all I was saying was, you have to understand how they instruct the jury. Just like I said with Tyree Nichols, it was all on video. That they beat this man, kicked him, put him in the hospital, and everything. But the way that it was presented to the jury, I don't know what evidence that the jury watched, but the jury said that the three cops were not guilty for violating his rights and for unaliving him and all of that. So
Yeah, so I mean, what may look like a cut and dry case with the
right,
video edit evidence can, sometimes still be not as cut and dry.
right, presented in a different light, or you know
Hmm.
and a lot of times when we do see evidence, we all jump to conclusions based on what we see visually and what they put on TV or on social media, but we don't have all of the facts, and they never give us all of the facts because that would be giving their case away. So they only give us what they only tell us what they want us to know until it goes to trial.
All right. Well, let me go.
Yeah.
I know we got off on a little tangent, but let's go back into D.L. Hughley because it's about to get crazy. I think
And,
it's going to be a little bit after this. It's going to take a little time, but
and hey to you, Joe Rizzo. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Joe
In
Rizzo.
place. This is 6 years. Like. Let's be clear. That deal, by all accounts, was doing what it's supposed to do. He hates Barack Obama so much that he took a deal off the place without having to, just like he would do to healthcare. Stop with this whole he does everything for formatics. Be the president and stop trying to win Nobel Peace Prizes and stop trying to sell telephones and do the bidding of the country. It's not that hard.
So
It's a job you said you wanted.
in his
Stop.
defense,
What if he never won a peace prize? With that, so what? What's with being on Time, the cover of Time magazine, and getting all these other accolades? Are you the president of the United States? Act like it. Act like it.
so he would say, DL, that they were about to go to the table with Iran when Israel started its offensive and then sort of cajoled the U.S. into joining in, right? So
in 2018, they had something in place, and at Israel's behest, he dismantled it. They didn't put anything in place. Nothing been in place even for the last few years of his administration. So they had a deal was in place, Obviously, nobody did anything about it, and now we're here where we are right now. I do not think a man who broke something should get a reward for trying to fix it. I don't think that.
Okay. But look, I mean, you say he needs to start acting like the president. The argument would be that the way president. Hold on, let me make my.
It's so funny watching Harvey get a little worked up.
Point. Let me make my point that there are a lot of presidents who all kind of act the same way, and a lot of people think we've been taken advantage of all over the world. Donald Trump acts a different way. You just heard Donald Trump saying they're both blanked up, and he is handling it differently. If his style is able to secure what looks like a long-lasting peace, why not give him the Nobel Prize?
Okay, here's the thing. Tariffs, his idea of tariffs was a different approach. Look where we're at. His idea of immigration is a different approach. At the same time, this is literally true. At the same time he's attacking Iran,
Harvey
he was
needs to stop
attacking
with the cat.
a swap meet in El Monte. So, like, I don't know. Any of these things that he's trying to do would already be unwieldy anyway. But trying to do them all half-hearted and one time is probably why we're here. And let me ask you something. Who does he have in place that is advising him? Name me one person, one competent person on his cabinet that can help him. One.
Okay, here it goes, y'all. So D.L. Hughley, before we get into this part, D.L. Hughley did make a few good points, but let me get y'all's reactions and I'll tell you how I feel. Foxy?
Okay. I need to hear more. I'm just I see
Okay.
Harvey is on the Trump side so far, so I just needed to hear a little more to make
Okay.
my point.
Yeah, and I think D.L. Hughley is basically, he got a point. Just a lot of the stuff that we're even doing right now, that we're having to go through right now, is because of him and the tariffs. He didn't really fall through with the tariffs. If you're gonna do the tariffs, do the tariffs. If you go in with the tariffs. But no, you want to go in, pull away, then go in. You know what I'm saying? It was like you didn't even fully commit to the damn tariffs. You didn't fully commit to none of these damn initiatives that you done started, and this is why we're here.
Well, it's all smoke and mirrors, you know. Like DL said, you the one who broke it in the first place.
You broke it
Why
in the
should
first place.
why should we give you credit for something that you tore up and now you want a Nobel Peace Prize? And really, I don't even know what you need a prize for because they didn't stop the war. They kept on striking missiles at each other, and that's why he was upset on that video, because they didn't stop fighting. They didn't
An
listen
hour
to him.
later,
An hour
right.
later, right? They didn't listen to him, and he want to be over everybody, and he don't even understand. Sweetie, you barely can control the United States. You really not even controlling the United States, because everybody was marching on your birthday weekend, okay, while you was trying to have a parade. So really, all you can do is stroke that pen, puff out your chest, and shout to the top of your lungs about what you're doing and what you're not doing. And in actuality, you're not really doing nothing because you haven't passed not one bill yet. Everything that you're doing can be redone, can be taken down by another president because you've been governing by executive orders, and that's not how government runs.
Right.
Number two, um, this is the I don't even know what to call it. What was the name of that show that he was on NBC? Do y'all
The
remember that show?
Apprentice, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, he's running the presidency like The Apprentice. I think he feel like he's still on TV, and so
Mhm.
instead of being a president, he's been an actor. He's a acting president. He's not even acting like a president. Even an actor on TV is more serious than him. When you watch those different movies,
For
where
the
you
presidents, right?
yeah,
Exactly.
when you see them acting like a president, he's
You're
not
like
even.
a parody of a president.
There you go, parody of a president. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I could call him. But what he doing is he's not president. He's not very presidential, and everything that comes out his mouth is smoke and mirrors. It's all about me, 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 and what I've done, and when you really in actuality haven't done anything. You're supposed to be having, you said 90 deals in 90 days. Well, we're over 90 days. We're at day what, 190? I think what this is 190 or something at this point.
We over 90.
Okay, so we well over, 90 days times 2 at this point. Okay, and at the end of the day, you
And now we
still
got a
haven't done
war.
anything. All you've done is sowed a lot of chaos and confusion, and filed a lot of lawsuits, because everything that you're doing is very unconstitutional, and a lot of these states are fighting back against you. And Eugene Carroll says she's not done either. She want her money. Just
Okay. All right. Well, this is the part where it gets really good, guys. So let's get into this part because, I don't know what's going to happen after this, but we'll discuss it.
Dio, is there anything that Donald Trump could do that you would give him credit for?
Yes, he could have went to jail for starting a riot.
Okay,
Yes, he coulda went to jail.
there's the answer. The things that you are saying, with all due respect, they are absolute nonsense. He torpedoed a deal with Iran because he doesn't like Barack Obama. Do you listen to this? Do you hear what you're saying?
He destroyed. Oh, stop it! Stop it! The man, he wouldn't do that. The man who's renaming federal.
Wait, give me the proof. Give me the proof.
Like black people.
Let's talk in
Stop with
facts.
that.
Let's talk
Stop
in
with that.
facts. Let's talk in facts.
Why didn't he torpedo the deal? Why was the
Because
deal
it's a
torpedoed?
crap deal. It's a crap deal, Dio.
Well,
And the whole world
what was crap about it,
recognizes
Mike?
that.
No.
Barack Obama has.
I think Charles even got. He said, "Well, wait a minute. Hold on. You ain't gonna be doing my brother Barack like that, nah."
right.
Uh,
And Charles know DL telling the truth also.
Right. But he letting him prove him. But look, he also. But see, this is the thing. Charles also trying to get him caught up too. Whoever this little white prick is,
Right.
that's the co-host. But let's continue listening.
So a better deal is the one he's doing now?
Yes,
Stop.
they
apologize.
negotiated for 60 days. He said take a deal. They didn't take the deal. Now it seems like we are on the verge of peace, except the only difference is now their nuclear program
There
is
nothing
decimated. DL, come on.
That man torpedoed that deal precisely because he didn't like Barack Obama. Half the stuff
Every
he does
president
is
we have
because he
had,
doesn't like-
DL, has said that they
I
cannot
don't know
have
if
nuclear
you-
weapons,
you-
including
you-
Barack Obama.
For a mediocre coward who is a president, and all of you people enable him. That's all he does is break.
Okay,
And all you do
I
is
don't
make
know.
excuses
This
for him.
hurts your side. It hurts your side, DL, because when something legitimately
I'm on
good
my
happens
side. I
for
don't
the
get- do you think
world,
I- you think I
can't
care what
admit
you
it.
think
You
of my
cannot
side?
admit it.
Do you think no, I despise him, but if he did
No
something
kidding,
right, I
you
would say
despise
it.
him.
I
We hear
despise
it.
him. I despise
I know
him.
you do.
Yes,
Everyone hears you.
I despise him as much as he despises black people. I despise him
Oh,
as much
more
as he despises
nonsense.
us.
It's more nonsense.
By the way, let me ask you something.
He's a MAGA.
He clearly a MAGA, but wait a
That's
minute.
short.
Don't let him think that he got anything. Don't y'all think that he got anywhere because they're not finished yet. Let's let it finish out,
Okay,
and then
let's
y'all
go.
can give us y'all fan.
Why rename bases after Confederate generals? Why do it? Why destroy black history? Why
Good question. Good question, Mike.
Why do it? You know why? Because it's
Well, let him answer, DL.
and
Let
you
him answer.
let him do it.
If you're going to
Don't
ask
tell
him, you have to let him answer.
Why would he? Why does he do it?
Give me the question once more, DL. I'm sorry.
Why
does he
rename bases after Confederate?
I have
Yes,
no
you do.
idea.
Yes, you do. Coward. He's a racist. That's why he does it.
Look, DL,
right.
let me tell you, it is such a sign of weakness that you cannot control your emotions.
I tell you
You
what,
are
I don't
out
gotta
here.
control my
You
emotions.
are
I don't gotta control
attacking
my
me
emotions.
personally.
Okay,
It's
we're
a
now.
sign of
Hey,
it's a sign
guys,
of weakness, DL.
we're in
And
overtime.
somebody
We
your age,
are.
DL, somebody your age
all
should
right.
have more
Babcock,
control over
Babcock
their emotions.
Everybody fall back. We got to
stop
down. Got to stop for a
If
second.
you want to see me, I'll show you how weak I am.
Ooh.
Lord.
Ooh. Okay.
And Trump just
Ooh.
loved this dissension. This is what he liked. This is what
This
he
is
want
what
the
he was
whole.
looking for, right?
He want the whole country to act like this. Everybody on my side, everybody get in your corners,
Right.
because I need to see how many people on my side. But that guy was clearly trying to find answers, and then when he didn't have no answer, what did he do? He started gaslighting.
Personal attacking and gaslighting.
Gaslighting, yeah, and then, like
Talking about
DL
you're
say,
weak and
yeah, DL say, "I don't like him," and he made that
do you think
known.
I right? Do you think I? And he was like, it makes your side look bad. He was like, do you think what I give a damn about what you think about what my side look like?
Right. I love DL Hughley though. That's my dog.
I like it too.
Uh,
And he was telling the truth. I'm like, what? Look, he telling them, he's like, I don't know. I don't know. Then stop. You say you were just speaking facts. Well, then when he came with facts, you didn't have nothing to say.
and how about facts? Do you know what facts do you have to prove that he just decimated the whatever the place in Iran that they had just attacked? How do you know that the base was decimated?
It wasn't. It wasn't
Because there's
decimated.
a many
It
reports that
okay.
say otherwise. They say, severely damaged, things like that, but not decimated. And like, you know what I'm saying? So, and
And
again,
then my thing is, why? How is it okay? What he just did with that bombing, what is it benefiting the United States? Since he's been in office since January the 20th of 2025, what has he actually get anybody? Name one or two. No, I'll give you this. Name five things in that time frame that he actually did to help the citizens of the United States. Everything he's done is either help the countries, other countries, go after other countries, tariff other countries, threaten other countries. What has he done to make the United States citizens better than they are before he came in? I'll
Well,
wait.
I know one
I'll look at the
citizen. I
chat.
know one citizen. I know one citizen that he helped.
Who?
That's himself.
Elon Musk. Oh,
No, himself. He's enriched himself while he's
Yeah.
been in office. He's had a coin to come out. He getting planes from other countries. He's making deals in other countries. And so at the end of the day, he's enriching himself, but he's not doing not one thing to help the American public out. Not one thing.
because Elon not is an immigrant, so I forgot about that. But
But I'm just saying, there's nothing that you can sit back and say that the United States or any of us have benefited anything or made our situation better since he been in office. In these 6 months, this is what I'm talking
Right.
about. Everybody keeps talking about, oh, it's good for the United States. What has it benefited us? Okay, the gas prices have they gone down? Has the food
Mm.
prices gone down? Has the clothes
Nope.
prices gone down?
Nope.
Now we got unemployment up the yang yang because of Doge. So you got they're trying to take away the medical. They're trying to take away benefits for the veterans. He's trying to take away. There's nothing that's benefiting the United States of America that he's president of, and that's
Not
the
even
problem.
not
Nobody's
even the
looking
rich
at that.
people. Not even the rich people that he
Now,
made the promise to. Now he's trying to get this big bad bill out because there's nothing beautiful about it. So I'm gonna
this
rename it.
big abomination, this
Yeah,
big
this big abomination out that he's trying to get out, but that's not even a guarantee. I think the Republicans are gonna try to pass it by any means necessary. However, it's not gonna help the American public. It's only gonna help his rich billionaire friends. And something tells me they not gonna even be happy with it. I'm just saying because it's always something around the corner that he always like to do. He say, "Look over here while I do this
right,
over there."
right.
So I guarantee you, whatever he's
That
giving these
messes over them.
billionaires, yeah, it's gonna mess them over. So they're not gonna benefit as much as they think they are. And
Yep.
hey, Mac, thank you
and
for joining us tonight. So
It's
like I
okay,
said,
man.
it's
but
all
it
smoke
just
and
bothers
mirrors.
me. Like you said, it's all smoke and mirrors because in 6 months, we have not one thing that has done anything to benefit the citizens of the United States. Not one thing. And that's the problem I have. In 6 months, he can't come up with one thing to make us in a better position than we was in before he got in office. Something, show us something. Go down on the food prices. Go down on something. But you haven't even done that. You say, oh, I don't have no control over the food prices. I don't have no control over the eggs. I don't have no control over this. I
That's
don't
not
have
what
no
you were
control
saying
over
on the
that. But
campaign trail. He wasn't saying that on the campaign
yeah, you're over there in the
trail.
other country trying to control them. You ain't look. You ain't controlling nothing that's going on within your own country, but you want to go there and dictate and try to control other people what goes on in their country. Help me understand that. Make that make sense.
Yep. Um, and then also, like you were saying, I said what I said, the pitting everybody against everybody. So you have, the blacks against the blacks and browns against the whites, and then you have the gays against the straights, and then you have the rich against the poor. Then you have, it's just like everybody is really kind of the Democrats against the Republicans. So it's kind of like creating wars with every different little subcategory. And
And don't we have
independence against a Republican? Don't get them the independents against the Republicans, and some of them against the Democrats. So we're more of a divided country than a come together, unity country.
and his
And the
approval
problem
ratings,
is
his approval
we're
ratings
so
are very low too. Keep that in mind.
and you got to look. You got to remember with everything going on over here, and they try. We're there's so much chaos going on within our own United States that you're opening the door for the other countries that are together that divided in their country. They're getting stronger, and he's not understanding that you got Canada making deals with China. Mexico making deals with China. South Africa is making deals with China. Europe is making deals with China. Russia is making deals with China. You now making us the third world country, while China is sitting over there backing off these deals.
Baby, China is
The
the
tariff wars.
China like the damn
you
Jim.
making
Baby, they moving on up and we moving on.
our credit rating to moved on down.
Right.
Oh.
Right. But at the
look,
end of the
our
day,
currency in some country, our currency ain't even worth anything anymore.
no,
In some
no.
countries, I'm not saying all of them, but a few
And
of the
we
countries,
can't
our
travel
currency.
where we want to travel. We can't even go to other countries no more.
Right,
They said
because
don't even come over
a
here.
lot of we're not welcome.
Well, let's talk. Speaking of going to other countries and other countries coming over here, let's talk about our girl Jasmine Crockett, who spoke about Trump's wife, who happens to be from a different country, and she brought her ass over here. And
Well, don't we have don't we want to do our two truths and one lie for DL?
I did it all together so we can all crowd.
Oh,
I should have told. We should have told them at the beginning, y'all. So at the end of this, at the end of all, we have about two more topics that we're going to cover. One about Jasmine Crockett, and then one with I think is it Gavin Newsom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we're going to end the show off with two truths and a lie. So based on all the information that we went over today, which I know it was a lot, and some of you guys probably wasn't here for the whole show, but we're gonna do two truths and a lie, and have a little fun. And so we're gonna see if you guys can tell us which one is the lie, in the last portion of our show. All right, but we're gonna do a clip on Jasmine Crockett. So yeah, let's get into this clip. Did y'all see it already? Well, I know you did. I said what I said, Foxy.
Yes.
No, I haven't seen it.
Chair now recognizes the gentlelady from Texas, Ms. Crockett.
Thank you
She's
so
my
much.
girl.
It's
I can't
interesting
wait.
that we're being accused of wanting all kinds of criminals to be on the streets, or that we don't believe that people should show up to their meetings and appointments. Last time I checked, there's a lot of people that are actually being grabbed as they are going in for their appointments. In fact, we know that one of the candidates that was recently running in this mayoral, he ended up being arrested because he decided that he was actually going to escort people that are actually showing up to their meetings. Or we know that the Pope, yes, the Pope himself, decided that the church may need to have people that are going to escort people as they're going into their meetings. Because the reality is that what they are claiming what they want to do versus what they're actually doing, the actions don't match up. And while we are supposed to be talking about visas, somehow we continue to cherry pick and talk about one criminal act and another criminal act. And it is so very interesting to me that yes, we will say people are xenophobic because when you start to decide that just because somebody came from another country, they are automatically some kind of criminal, that does sound kind of xenophobic to me because you are using a paintbrush to paint an entire group of people where the vast majority of them are coming here because they are actually seeking a better life. But let me get to what this hearing is supposed to be about. The idea that Trump and my Republican colleagues want to restore integrity and security in the visa process is actually a joke. Let me be clear. Integrity is not snatching lawful visa holders off the streets and throwing them into unmarked vans. Integrity is not revoking visas based on social media posts that hurt somebody's little feelings because kids decide that they want to go after Trump or this administration. We have a thing called free speech in this country.
All right, and the reason why I went ahead and played the full part of her clip of her speech was because, I just love her, and I feel like we needed to listen to the whole thing and not just the part about Melania.
And since we're talking about integrity, I'm confused as to why my Republican colleagues aren't talking about the lack of integrity when it comes to the president's family's visas. Let me remind y'all that Melania, the first lady, a model, and when I say model, I'm not talking about Tyra Banks, Cindy Crawford, or Naomi Campbell level, applied for and was given an EB1 visa. And what that stands for is an Einstein visa. Now, y'all that don't know, let me tell you how you receive an Einstein visa. You're supposed to have some sort of significant achievement, like being awarded a Nobel Peace Prize or a Pulitzer, being an Olympic medalist, or having other sustained extraordinary abilities and success in sciences, arts, education, business, or athletics. Last time I checked, the First Lady had none of those accolades under her belt. It doesn't take an Einstein to see that the math ain't mathin' here. Nevertheless, what
She's
Republicans are
absolutely
doing
right.
with this reconciliation process, the travel bans and revoking visas jeopardizes our national security. It threatens our communities, our higher education, and our economy. Visas like the largely vetted J visas for higher education and M visas for trade, training attract the next innovators, medical providers, researchers, and educators that we need to build on American success. I'm not going to mess up your name, so I'm not doing that. But I'm with you, okay? In your experience, do individuals on J or M visas typically improve or impair our economy?
They generally improve the economy, and I can give a brief example. My wife is a very successful woman. She makes a ton of money, which I'm grateful for. And the reason why we're able to do that while having 3 children is because of the au pair visa.
I love
Somebody
this
who's here
guy.
on
He
a
finna
J,
break it all
who
down for
is here and
everybody.
able to supply this for us. But I also want to defend Melania real quick. Not everybody could marry Donald Trump, and I think that's quite an achievement. So I think she deserves credit for that. Nobody up here could have done it.
You sure right. I couldn't do it. But anyway, in fact, J visa holders contribute $43.8 billion to the U.S. economy and support more than 300,000 jobs. And make no mistake, immigrants improve the health of U.S. citizens too. Despite the fact we already have a doctor shortage, Trump's reckless travel ban and visa overhaul are exacerbating this crisis by impairing hundreds of hospitals with foreign trained doctors set to do their residencies here in the United States, meaning fewer people will get the help they need and more people will die. Now, let me remind you that Republicans are trying to gut Medicaid. Roughly 4.5 million people receive caregiver services through Medicaid, and most of these folks are in red states. And wouldn't you know that in 2023, Kaiser Family Foundation estimated that almost 30% of long-term care providers or home caretakers were immigrants. It's like Republicans want Americans to suffer. Now, Republicans say visas make us less secure, but let's talk about how visas given to victims of crimes like rape, murder, human trafficking, torture, abduction, kidnapping, to help law enforcement with their investigation or prosecutions of these crimes. These folks are risking their own security for broader safety of Americans and our communities. Thank you so much. I will yield.
Gentlelady yields,
Amen.
and
Amen. Amen.
our chair now recognizes him.
All right, so that.
Amen. Amen. And amen.
So yeah, she definitely basically shed some light on what's going on with Trump and Melania, and of course what he's doing with the immigrants are how it's impacting hell all of us. I'm sure everybody that been to the hospital to seen most of the doctors look like they from somewhere else. So it definitely is going to have an impact on the hospitals. And the home health care industry. That's, I mean, what do y'all think about
You're
that?
right. You're absolutely right. It is affecting the medical field. Majority of our doctors are immigrants. They are not American doctors. I mean, we have some wrong. You got to look at it. The majority are immigrant doctors. They have, even excelling the American doctors in specialties and special.
Uh-oh.
I hate that I entered it with that. I wanted to hear what she had to say.
Look at what we have to look at. In the way it's playing, and it's really, I was saying before, what he's doing is helping the people of the citizens of the United States. That, so far finding everything wrong, like D.H. Hughley said. That's not helping us. I mean, we don't, well,
You
we,
breaking up
other
bad,
people have voted in.
Foxy. I can't understand what you're saying.
Well, I just want to reiterate what she said then. Basically, she was just saying that most of these doctors are foreigner doctors, like you were saying. And America wouldn't be America without foreigners, unfortunately or fortunately.
Mhm.
They're in tech, they're in the tech industry, they're in science, they're in hospitals, they're everywhere Americans are. And like you said, when you go to the doctor, it's hard to really kind of find an American doctor. And to be honest with you, I'm more than likely going to pick a doctor from another country because I
Me
feel like
too.
they study harder.
Me
I
too.
feel, those doctors from other countries have helped me way more than an American doctor has helped me, and that's just from experience. And I'm not saying that this is true for all American doctors, but most of these new, especially these new American doctors, baby, I don't trust them at all. I've heard about a lot of them cheating on the internet, and with AI and the internet, it's so easy to cheat now. So I'd rather have an old school doctor that's kind of that's a baby boomer that's been doing it for years, or I'd rather have a foreign doctor. And I am in the healthcare, as far as being in the healthcare industry, and I won't say as far as I'm not in there as an employee, but as a customer. I have to go to the doctor all the time, and I have three foreign doctors. I have one American doctor, but the other doctors are foreign. And I did that for a reason, because they have helped me more than American doctors have. Because to me, in my opinion, most American doctors, they get you in the room, they want to give you a diagnosis, no matter if you have one or not, and then they want to push a pill down your throat.
Hmm. They
And the
really
foreign
just in it for the money.
They're in it for the money. They're not in it for your health. They're in it for the money. And it's all commercialized now. You
Hmm.
rarely have private hospitals these days. Most hospitals are, I mean, you rarely have state funded hospitals, because, it used to be you could go to, every city had a hospital that the state fund. And you can go there, whether you can pay or not. Those are becoming very few and far between now.
And common sense said foreign doctors can cheat too, though.
Yeah, they can. But their methods have, for me and my experience, their methods have worked for me better than an American doctor. And I'm
So
not
it should
saying that
probably be
they
an
don't cheat.
older foreign though, because
Right.
maybe these new people all together everywhere just messed up with the new technology and all
Well,
that stuff. So
I wouldn't say exactly.
Uh-oh,
I
Foxy, you
had
went out
a
again.
doc. Can you hear
Can you
me?
hear? I can't, but it may be my internet. I don't know. Minion, can you hear her?
no, I can't.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear you
yeah, we
now.
can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. What happened is I had a American doctor for my heart doctor, had my heart attack, but I had a foreign doctor for my primary care doctor. And the American doctor had me so zooted up from all the medication, and she had me on such a high dosage that I was sluggish all the time. I couldn't function. I was out of it all the time. I mean, real sluggish. I couldn't hardly move, and she wouldn't change my medication. And so when I went back to my primary doctor, he changed my medication, and I had energy again. I was able to talk and move around and do what I needed to do. And I've been sticking with his diagnosis ever since, and I'm fine now. I'm not having heart palpitations or anything like that. But if I stayed with that heart doctor, who was our American doctor, I don't know where I've been. Because I mean, when I say zooted, I was tired. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I mean, I slept all the time. I mean, I would sleep the day away. It'd be the middle of the night when I wake up thinking I'm waking up in the daytime. I go to walk out to the bedroom, to the bathroom. I'd be out of energy, just getting from, not out of breath, out of energy. So I just went away. I stopped dealing with the American doctor, heart doctor, and I ended up with a foreign doctor and a foreign primary doctor. And I'm much healthier now than I was then. And so,
Well, that's
some
why I made
American
the
doctors.
statement. That's why I made the statement for me and my experience. So I just want to make sure I clarify that so that the chat don't feel like that we're generalizing doctors. We're not saying that all doctors or you pick a foreign doctor. What we are saying for us, what worked well for us and what we prefer, not what everybody else should do. So I
Yeah, I
just want to
definitely
make that
prefer.
point.
I think we all have preferences with certain things, and it's all our own preference. It's all an individual thing. But it's like if I go to the nail shop, generally I want someone Asian to do my nails. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if y'all think it's racist or not. I prefer somebody Asian doing my nails. But I think that um it's just a preference, like you said, based off of personal experiences. Because I've tried Americans, and I prefer what I prefer. Now, some people
Right.
may have
It's just like
somebody that that they know that do nails good, that can do that only do that, that they only stick to, that may be American, that may work for them. So
right.
Yeah, my
And
daughter
I,
do nails and she does a good job.
Common Sense 7999 said, "What does foreign doctors mean?" I want Common Sense to break it down to me. What do she feel that a foreign doctor mean?
Well,
but
the definition of foreign is not from America from our standpoint. So if it's not your homeland, then that's foreign to me. So I don't know.
yeah, I would just say, if you're not from here, if you had to get a visa to get over here and work, then that would probably mean you're foreign.
That part.
Um Now, the other part that I wanted us to look at was the Gavin Newsom thing, because of course Jasmine Crockett did her thing and she explained it very eloquently, and I don't think that anybody could really misconstrue anything that came out of her mouth, because she did break it down factually. Um, but let's get into Gavin Newsom and this lawsuit against Fox News.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is taking aim at Fox News. The Democratic lawmaker is suing the channel for defamation to the tune of $787 million. The suit was filed earlier today in Delaware, where Fox News is incorporated. Newsom took to X to make that announcement, posting in part, "No more lies." NBC News correspondent Camila Bernal joins us now. So, Camila, what can you tell us about this lawsuit, and what have we heard from Fox News?
Hey, St. Clay. So first, Governor Gavin Newsom claiming that Fox News host Jesse Waters lied when he called him a liar when they were talking about this phone call between the president and Governor Gavin Newsom. This is after the National Guard and the Marines were activated here in LA during those protests. And so this was also already disputed on TV and between the two of them on social media. But now Governor Gavin Newsom taking these threats, really, to court. Here's what he said in that statement. He said, if Fox News wants to lie to the American people on Donald Trump's behalf, it should face consequences, just like it did in the Dominion case. I believe the American people should be able to trust the information they receive from a major news outlet. Until Fox is willing to be truthful, I will keep fighting against the propaganda machine. Now, Fox News really kind of dismissing these claims from Governor Gavin Newsom. They also released a statement saying this: Governor Newsom's transparent publicity stunt is frivolous and designed to chill free speech critical of him. We will defend this case vigorously and look forward to it being dismissed. Now, Governor Gavin Newsom, he asked for an apology, an on-air apology, and a retraction. It's unlikely that that is going to happen given the stance that Fox News has taken on this lawsuit. We'll have to wait and see what a judge decides. But again, this back and forth has already been very public, and now it'll be in the hands of a judge. Sinclair.
Camila Bernal, thanks so much.
We thank you for watching, and remember.
So that was a clip with Gavin Newsom suing Fox News for $787 million. What do you guys think about this?
Well, they
and
took that.
asking for an apology.
Well,
and
they took that.
them to take the stuff down. I'm
Well,
sorry.
Dominion asked them for the same thing, and they took it all the way to the court and lost. So apparently, Fox got a lot of coins to burn. They don't mind if they're wrong, but they're going to hold on to their opinions, and they're going to stay continue to be what they call is a propaganda channel, because they don't report the truth. No news media does, in my opinion. But some of them do try to report the facts as accurate as possible. You have to understand the person that he's suing is not a news person. He's an opinion person. He's not a journalist. And so you have to understand the dynamics of media and journalism. And you have to know who's giving an opinion, like we're doing tonight, giving our opinions. And we're not real journalists, but we're just giving our opinions. And that's what Jesse Water is. He's not a real journalist. He's just an opinionist. And he have his whole show. I don't think that anybody that's on the show is a real journalist. All of them are just giving opinions. Maybe the Democrat lady, she may be a journalist, but I don't remember seeing her. I would have to fact check myself and check it out. But I don't think anybody on his show is a real journalist. I think all of them just sit there and give their opinions about the news. And so
The only problem, don't you think that the only problem with that is the fact that people look to Fox, the network, for their news and for information that may take what he says, even though it may be his opinion,
yeah.
as fact.
But yeah, that's the danger of it. But it is what it is. They've been doing it for over 20 years. Not telling the truth and spitting out lies or what have you. So maybe if they get enough defamation cases against them and they lose enough, maybe they'll, turn around. We thought they were going to turn around when Dominion sued them.
Right.
And so they're still spewing what they're spewing. So, I just say more power to them and good luck, Gavin Newsom.
I know that's right.
And that's definitely going to help your presidential run when you get ready to run in 28. I'm just saying.
Surely is. Okay. Yeah.
And hey, Lionel, thanks for coming in. Thanks for hitting the like button.
What's
Appreciate
good,
you.
Lionel?
But yeah, so I just say, hey, they got the coins. Hey, pass them
Right.
out.
I feel you, right?
I ain't mad at them.
Look, I agree with I say what I said, and you also Minion. Like they want the money. So hey, if you want to dishing out change and want to fine and a gas and go right ahead, you must got the money to do it. So keep on.
Yeah, they said they not even taking. They ain't take what back. They ain't taking nothing back.
But they said the same thing about Dominion. They made that same statement and said they were going to stand by their people. And so one person that may not be making money off of this, and that's Jesse Waters, the one who made the lie, the alleged lie, because it hasn't been proven in court yet.
He may be a casualty.
Yeah, he's going to be the casualty of war in this situation, just like Tucker Carlson was. And Tucker Carlson was, he had a big following. And he made Fox News a lot of money for a lot of years. And so that's why I say Jesse Waters may have to, go find him a new job, but Fox gonna be fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Well, guys, y'all made it to this point, so we definitely appreciate y'all for getting to this part of the show, y'all. Now, if y'all can do us a huge favor and just hit the like button. And the next part of our show, guys, is going to be the two truths and a lie. So we're going to get into this. Let me go ahead and pull it up for us. This should be interesting. See if you guys can guess this stuff. All right. So now, guys, we're going to have to figure out which one is the lie. All right. So the first one, I'll go ahead and read these. Governor Newsom filed a $787 million lawsuit in his personal capacity, not as governor. The lawsuit claims Fox News knowingly spread false information about a phone call between Newsom and Donald Trump. Jesse Waters publicly apologized on air, and Fox News immediately retracted the story. So which one do you guys think is a lie? 1, 2, or 3? 1 is the pink, 2 is the blue, and 3 is the purple. Y'all can just put it in the chat. Which one is the lie? And I can just maybe put a little. All right, so guys, the lie. I'm pretty sure everybody knows. All right, so
I'm sure too, since we just saw it.
Right. All right, so Jesse Waters publicly apologized on air. Fox News immediately retracted the story. Okay, so the next two truths. All right, so let's go to the next one. All right. You want to read these? I said what I said.
Okay. Sure, Minion, I'll get it read for you. Trump withdrew the U.S. from Iran nuclear deal, the JCPOA, originally brokered by President Obama, citing it as weak and ineffective. During his presidency, Trump pushed to rename U.S. military ships after Confederate leaders as part of his effort to preserve heritage. Trump completely demolished all Iranian nuclear bases, making it impossible for Iran to ever develop a nuclear weapon. So which one of these is true and which one is a lie? 2 are true and 1 is a lie.
Purple is 3, blue is 2, and pink is 1. All right, guys. The lie is Trump completely demolished all Iranian nuclear bases, making it impossible for Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. But of course, you guys knew that was a lie.
Right after the healthy discussion that we just had about it.
Right.
A healthy and vigorous discussion.
All right, and now let's go to the last one. Which one is a lie, guys? All right. Harvey ranks in the 7th percentile for overall safety, meaning it is safer than only about 7% of U.S. cities. The violent crime rate in Harvey has decreased. Oh, wait. I should have told you to read this. The vi-
violent crime
okay, you
rate in
got it.
Harvey. Yeah, I got it. The violent crime rate in Harvey has decreased by more than 30% over the past 5 years, from 2019 to 2024. The last one is the crime rate in Harvey is significantly higher than the U.S. average and higher than 98.6% of U.S. cities. Which one is the lie?
All right.
And the lie is
The violent crime rate in Harvey is significantly higher than the U.S. average and higher than 98%. Oh, wait, no, that's the truth. The lie was supposed to be. Sorry, y'all. That's the producer's fault. But the lie is the violent crime rate in Harvey has decreased by more than 30% over the past 5 years. It's a lie. The crime rate has not decreased. All right, so let's just look at some of these statistics really quickly. All right, so guys, just so you guys can see, it says it is higher than 98.6% of the cities in the United States.
2.4 times higher.
Right, 2.4 times higher, and it was higher than 98.6% of the U.S. cities. Yes. And look, it says in 2023, Harvey crime rate rose by 1,297% compared to 2022. That's kind of crazy. In the past 5 years, Harvey has seen increasing violent crime and rise of property crime.
Wow. Why?
Wow.
and look
Yeah.
and look, and all of those cities that's listed is Southland, and Harvey excels all of them. All of them.
And that's
The lowest one is
citydata.com.
East Crest. Yep, and the lowest one is Hazelcrest out of all of them, but Harvey is the highest. So let me understand. He got in office in 2019. This is 2025. What has he done anything to decrease the crime rate if all the police officers are mostly in the town hall? But I digress. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Well, just so you guys can know, I didn't just use one. We didn't just use one source. It says the safest and most dangerous places in Harvey, Illinois crime map statistics. Okay, so basically, the overall crime grade for Harvey, Illinois, as you guys can see, is a F. All right, and again, like I was saying, this is what it costs the residents uh, of Harvey in crime translates into that much per person per household. So there's a big issue with Harvey and the crime in Harvey. But that was our two truths and a lie. And I think that, we had a pretty interesting show. We've talked about a lot of different things today. So, uh, final thoughts on Harvey, or final thoughts altogether on Harvey, Jasmine, D.L. Hughley, whatever you guys want to talk about, Trump or Agent Orange.
Well, my final thought is I like the TMZ and the DL Hewley. That was my favorite tonight. I like the banter and the smoke that DL Hewley was bringing to the TMZ employee, and clearly he was MAGA, and he wasn't backing down. And when he got hit with the facts, of course, it was the gaslighting and really kind of changing the subject. And also, well, what was the question again? All of a sudden, he didn't, he couldn't understand what DL was talking about when DL asked him why did he close down all of the African American. Why did he take the African American names off of the bases in the naval ships? And so he couldn't answer that question, but he still want to make Trump great. Um, I don't know what was wrong with America. Why Trump even selected that slogan, "Make America Great Again," because, yeah, we had our issues, but it wasn't that bad before he got in office. And so basically, the next president that come in office will have to try to make America great again because he truly made it bad for us. And
Right.
yeah, he didn't tell us he was gonna tear it up so that he can make it great again. So, unfortunately, we're gonna have to hear this damn phrase probably for the next administration because this ninja done tore everything up. So now we really gonna have to make America great again
You
when
know
he in
what's so
office.
funny about you saying that?
What?
When I was growing up, when I cleaned up, I used to like get everything and put it in like a pile. Like I used to tear the house up or tear whatever room I was cleaning up first, and it would look like
Yeah, chaos.
hurricane, right? And I would like meticulously, clean everything and then put everything back. But it just kind of reminded me of that when you said that.
That took you back down memory lane.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like destroying everything and then cleaning it back up.
And as far as Jasmine Crockett goes, that's my girl. I love the fact that she's in Congress, and hopefully she'll aspire to be something other than being in the House of Representatives. I really see a bright future for her. I know a lot of people might not like her brassness, but I do, and I like the fact that she know her stuff. Whenever she's talking to whoever, she's done her homework. She speak out the facts, and she also called the other side out with the hypocrisy that they always want to throw her way. So kudos and shout out to Jasmine Crockett. And as far as Harvey go, we got the statistics. You haven't brought crime down as you was claiming on that news clip. Um, it looked like you're allegedly terrorizing your residents, and you need to do better. Allegedly you're committing all type of frauds. Do better. And people of Harvey, this guy term should be up probably within the next year or so. So you guys need to do just like Dalton. You guys need to follow that footprint and get ready to elect somebody else in office that maybe have your best interests at heart. That's the best advice that I can give Harvey at this point.
Hmm. I agree.
Okay. My closing remarks is, yes, Jasmine is my girl. Like I said what I said. Yeah, he's tearing it up. So now, like you said, our next president gonna have to make America great again. So we're gonna have to hear that line again, like you said. Harvey, all I can tell the residents is follow the money. Follow the money. Then you find out all that is involved besides just him. But out, you just follow the money. Wherever the money in, then you see where everything else in. Right now we just see the money on the surface. We need to follow the money that we don't see. And then you'll find out all your answers and know what you need to do for your next administration. That's all I have for Harvey. And by the way, um, Clarky boy, I'm still on your neck. I don't care who you put out there to fight for you. I'm coming for you. Okay, I'm done.
And not just her, we coming for you. Because at the end of the day, no resident she doesn't look like she was getting the resident that we saw. She doesn't look like she was gaining anything from, if she was supporting you, and you didn't do anything, you didn't meet one of the. She was really actually fighting for the residents, and so she doesn't seem crazy to me, and it's despicable that you would have police go out to any of the residents' houses for speaking up for them for their own rights. The crime rate, like I said, what I said, has not decreased. It's still a very violent city. The crime rate is still high. You guys are still using the police to intimidate the residents that are law abiding. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done in Harvey. From what I've heard, a lot of the conditions in Harvey have worsened since you've been in office. Jasmine is my girl. Don't get me wrong. I love Jasmine, and I love how brash she is, and I love how controversial she is and unapologetic she is. So But the thing that I love about her the most is that she always spits facts. And what did she say during her speech? That was a lie. You know, that's all I gotta say. And Trump. Oh, D.L. Hughley. That was my favorite part too. That was the most lit part.
Mine too.
Yeah, that was definitely the best part. But there are a lot of questions with this administration, and it looks like the Supreme Court isn't helping the situation. So it's going to be some scary times that we're in. We're just going to have to report on it all and not give a damn what anybody who has an opposing view says about it. You can even come into the chat. We don't care if you have an opposing view. Be respectful. Put it in the chat, and we can discuss it. But we're gonna speak what we want to say, regardless. I know I am, and I know that's why I picked these two. Well, that's why we picked each other to have this show with, because we have integrity and we can, speak our mind. And that's all I gotta say. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's Happy Friday. All right, so
Yay!
Yeah, we hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for
Yes.
everybody that joined us tonight. Thank you for coming to the Minion with Opinion chat. Thanks for being in Foxy 3 Roxy 3 chat. Thank you for being in I Said What I Said chat. And thank you for being and subscribing to the OTR channel. And if you haven't already subscribed to if you haven't subscribed to the OTR channel, please do that. And what I'm gonna do, Minion, is I'm gonna put the link in the chat right quick, so
I
people
have it
that
in the description. I have the link to all of our channels in our
oh, you do?
descriptions,
Oh, okay.
along with a few channels that we also frequent. I know I may have missed some from I Said What I Said, like Lady T Bug. So please forgive her and us this time. They will be in the ones coming up. But yeah, if you want to support the channel, please go into the description and you can go ahead and click on the link so that you can subscribe.
And again, back to you, Joe Rizzo. A thumbs up to you also.
And thank you everybody for coming out, and good night, everybody.
Foxy, bring the fire. Minion got the facts. I said what I said, yeah, no taking it back. It's truth with a twist, and we had a little mess. But don't get it twisted, we still say it best. This ain't your mama's news, it's off the record. Unfiltered, unbothered, undeniably black.